Alright everyone, hope you're well.
Shush. Like everyone, I hate the sound of my own voice. I just put my notes up, which I forgot to do. There's no doubt people will come charging in, as always. Right, let's make this a good one because I get a Krispy Kreme donut if I do a good job. Krispy Kreme. Right, they're the last two, which I liked. I did like that one, but even when I went back to it, it still feels unfinished, like the top corners here. Right, don't think, just draw. That's the whole point of this book. Let's go. I've already got a like. Thank you very much for that. If 11, how's it going? Your phone broke. I've been there. What happened to it? Got it all sorted, new phone and all that business. Thanks for popping in. Always appreciate it. I've dropped in it. Ooh. Gutting. I don't think I've ever broke one from water damage before. I managed to break one. So I had one in the pocket of my tracky bottoms. And they didn't have any sort of zip-up pockets in them. And as I was getting into a car, it slipped out of my pocket without me knowing, and I closed the car door and I caught the phone in the car door. Like I couldn't do that again if I tried. And because I caught it and put too much pressure, it just cracked the screen completely in half. Like all inside it as well. So like it had all that kind of oil effect. Couldn't believe it. Have you managed to get a new one sorted, yeah? It's one of those things, it's always a massive pain in the ass when you when you break a phone. Did you get a new phone? Did you get anything decent? I'm not massively into phones. I just had to get a new. The latest one I got had to be half decent, so I've got Excuse me, I've got a Google Pixel 7. And the only reason I got it is purely for the camera, because I record all my work on it. Because it's the only thing I can afford. I can't afford like a high-end camera or anything. So I just thought it makes sense to do all the recording through the phone. I may as well get a good one. Sorry, I got to go. Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you for popping in, even if it was only for a few minutes. Of all your videos. Bye. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time, hopefully. Annie, how's it going, man? You good? Thank you for the like as well. Good as always, just thinking about some weird life decisions of mine. Anything you can or even want to share, or is it just some personal stuff that you're thinking? Not causing you too much grief, I hope. Not serious. Have you seen or heard about those memes where a woman tries to flirt with a man? The flirting session fails because the man is quite blunt. I'm sure. Yeah, I think I have. Is that what's going on? You're having some, and then a few years later, the man gets it that she was trying to flirt. In the past, yeah, I think I have seen memes like that. I'm flipping hopeless with stuff like that. Like, I can never, like, if a girl flirts and stuff, I can never tell. I mean, I've been with the same person for 20 odd years, so it's not something I ever need to worry about. Someone giving you some attention and you're not quite sure if it's that kind of attention or not. Is that where this is going? If so, I wish I could help, but I'm useless at that sort of stuff. Took me 8 years. Weird times, teenagers. Yeah, I was hopeless at that kind of stuff, especially when I was a teenager. I'm not any better now, like, but yeah, I was. Yeah. Well, you figured out like recently that someone 8 years ago was flirting with you, and you're like, oh, I've possibly had something like that where someone was. I think I have actually when I was at college. Someone was behaving a certain way, not like really over the top or anything, but they were saying some stuff to me, and my brain just nah. And then years later, I'm like, oh, she was probably. So I'm just putting the feelers out on YouTube. YouTube? What am I on about? On my Facebook page. So really one sec. Yeah, now that I think about it, it was pretty obvious. Yeah, there's probably been a few times where I've just been completely oblivious, where someone's got a bit flirty with you, and let me just zoom on this a bit, and you just like none the wiser. And for me, my teenage years would have been 20 years ago, so. Can never tell if my book's ski whiff or my camera is. There you go, it's a bit better. Why is this person, has she like turned up in your life or something, and you're like, oh, you should ask her out or something? Now I'm trying to find that girl on my socials, but it should be hard these days. Don't want to get labelled as a creep. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think this is a thing that's different in men than in women. Like if a girl sort of liked you, and she hit you up on social saying, hey, and started chatting to you, we'd probably be made up, but I know what you mean. Like, even, with all the good intention in the world, you always worry about that sort of stuff, don't you? Like, I don't want them to think I'm a creepy bastard. Would she be cool with you? Like, if you did find her on social media and you just said hello? I mean, it might not be appropriate if she's got a fella, but if she hasn't, well, like I said, I don't know what the etiquette would be. I just haven't got a clue. No, I just clicked after all these years, saw some teenagers hitting it off. And okay. Mate, why not? If you're able to find her, just hit her up, say hello. If it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, then plenty more fish in the sea and all that. See what she says. I think I only ever got asked about advice with women once. I'm not saying you need advice or even asking me for advice, but you've just reminded me of when someone asked me. And my first instinct was, what the fuck are you asking me for? And I just said, I think my advice to the guy was just don't try too hard. Like, you don't have to like act all cool and stuff. Just be yourself. It's such an easy thing to say, but my whole attitude, and it's different, I know, like when you're younger. Like, I know you're not young, you're in your mid-20s. But you just, when you don't want to cock it up and stuff, but my whole attitude is if they don't like you for who you are or what your interests are, then they weren't worth it. Not to say that they're a horrible person, but if you just don't have the same interests, you don't have the same interests, kind of thing. Needless to say, he did not take my advice. And he did not get with the person that he was intending to get with. Easier said than done. I've been to dates, but I reckon the dating scene is quite different than actually approaching someone I already knew. Well, I can tell you for one thing, I can relate to being a wee man. I'm not a very large man myself. I was tiny when I was younger. When she was younger than my little sister. Is there like a big age gap between you two? I'm with you. I'm with you there as well. Though, like, I never went on any sort of dates, or not that I remember. It's been that long. It was always someone I kind of half knew. Like my missus and I already knew each other for a little while before we started dating. But yeah, I didn't go on many dates when I was younger. So, like I said, I'm not the best person to give advice in any capacity about this sort of thing. Just 3, oh, 3 years, that's nothing, isn't it? Especially when you get into your 20s. Yeah, below 20 is something I just recently stopped considering because I feel like I'm a little bit too old for them kids. Yeah, it's one of those things where like I'm 38, so obviously that's if I was single that'd be well inappropriate. Even the dead hand, how's it going, man? And Annie and I were just talking about the dating scene and all that business. Um, but yeah, like I'm 38, so if I was single, then obviously anything down there would be a no go. I'm one of those that I think if you're anything above 18, like the legal age in this country is 16, which I personally think is way too young. I think it should be 18 because you are legally an adult, so you can go and buy alcohol, buy cigarettes, drive. I think drive is still 16 here. I don't know though. So like even if like, yeah, it's fine. Like, if say a 30-year-old was dating an 18-year-old, like, there's no legal ramification there, nor should there be. But I think if you're, I mean, you're 25. Did you say you were last when you mentioned it to me last? I think you'd still be okay, like if you're dating an 18-year-old. But I understand, like, if they're just out of school, then like you say, you're getting on just a bit now. But anyone sort of my age or Dead-An's, I know Dead-An's, you're 39, aren't you, Dead-An? I'm 38. Like, yeah, we couldn't ever date an 18-year-old. That's, you can't do that. I don't see how. Like, you'd have nothing. How could you have anything in common when you're that big an age gap? I think 20 would be like the lowest, because that's what college age. So it's not as bad, but it's still not great. But then again, but like I say, legally, if you're a consenting adult, then it's no one else's business. But I know what you mean when you say that, though. Like, I'd find it dodgy if I knew a 30 or someone my age dating an 18-year-old. I'd be like, yeah, it's legal, but it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? 25th of December. Yeah, so I don't think it'd be that bad. I mean, the age gap's what, 6, 7 years for you. But I know what you mean. Like, when you start getting into your mid 20s, you can feel it a bit more. Like, yeah, the 18's just a bit too far away. It goes well. Have the wonderful world of dating. I don't miss it. 39, yeah. I'm 30. No, I was just saying, like, Annie says I'm giving it. I'm not. I'm clueless when it comes to the world of women. Like, I don't flip it now. Like, I've been with the same person for so long that that world is completely out of my wheelhouse, I think. Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'd just be at the point now, like, if touch wood, like, if anything were to ever happen between me and my sisters, and I had to go out on the market again, like, the advice I remember saying, the advice I'd give to somebody is just be yourself. Just, if someone doesn't like you for who you are, just bin them off. I wouldn't have patience for all the nonsense. Jolly me, I can't wait to upload my consciousness to a PC, not worry about dating anymore. Yeah, I don't know about you. Like, I am on TikTok. You get the have you seen these pages where it's the "Am I the arsehole?" or it's like people who give Reddit stories. What horror first dates have you had? There's loads of different ones, like, mother-in-law's beam nightmares, and like, I'll have a little binge before bed sometimes on these ones, and I've sort of listened to some horror stories of first dates and stuff. Like, there are some absolute sort of just creeps and psychos, like that, men and women. Like, I don't, not necessarily all the time physical violent stuff, but just really manipulative, just socially ignorant narcissists out there. And you just think, how on earth have you survived this long? So yeah, I'd always be worried about stuff like that. Drawn a line there, and I don't know what to do with it. Found her probably. Since this one got mutual friends in the same city, the same school she went to. Her school's right where we lived. Didn't stalk her. Mate, believe me, I know. It's not stalking. Everyone is nosy on Facebook, whether I want to find someone they knew at school or whatever. It's not stalking. What do I want to do with this one? Trust me, women always, they're bad for stalking as well. Everyone always has a little nosy on Facebook. Trust the woman will know everything about you before she even replies to you. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But if a man does that, yeah. There is a little hypocrisy of when it comes to sort of men and women's behaviour. It's never really sort of spoken about or addressed, and that's when you end up getting idiots like Andrew Tate. Because then he claims to have all the answers, and it's like, no. Thing is, most people, I think this is a bit of a boring thing, but most people are actually really nice people. And they don't freak out about stuff like that. It's just the problem is the ones who do, they're the ones who seem to gobshite the most and kick off and damage the relationship between men and women. That's just from what I've seen, though. I can't, you know, and don't trust fully my answer on that. I don't. It's just what I've seen, like from a distance. You see the way people behave, and you think, "Fucking hell." And the problem is as well. I don't personally. I don't think the internet is a true representation of most people. People tend to get a lot chirpier on the internet than they do in real life. Well, never ceases to amaze me. Yeah, I've bumped into a couple of bizarre behaviours online before, and I'm like, and I'm not used to it because like I say, this is my first time really chatting to people who I don't know online. And like I said, and as I expected, most like yourselves is lovely, but most people are very, very nice. But you do see the oddballs sort of pop up more often. Oh, my shoulder. In other news, oh, what's this? Oh yeah, I remember the whole story now. I was once sitting on a bench that's around her apartment building when she came back from school. She saw me and asked me if I was waiting for her. Really? Suppose the question there would be, were you waiting for her? And what did you say to her? Of course, you don't have to tell us anything. We're on the internet. I openly said no, I was waiting for her. But she was smiling new. That's a good response from her, though. Like when, I mean, did that happen when you were younger? Yeah, she probably thought it was cute or something. There's like a couple more instances like these, but I was just oblivious. I had to literally go through my bins, take things, so I started switching my bins with a girl. Jesus, Dedan, that's mental. Sorry to hear that, man. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I've never met anyone like that. Or I should say, in that sense. That's crazy. A mother invited me to their house. I was not ready for anything. You know what them kids say, I fumbled the bag. Well, not necessarily. Like, I mean, you never know. Like, it sounds like she would remember you, like if you got in touch with her. There's no harm in just saying hello. Keep it light. If you know it's her, like. We call them yandere. Did I pronounce that right? Very dangerous. That is a stalker. Yeah, just I don't understand behaviour like that. I don't get it. Psychotic behaviour. Like I've heard stories from. And let me just refresh this a minute. It says 8 minutes ago. I can refresh this. 1 sec. Yeah, I remember. Like I've heard stories from both sort of sides. You know, from like relationships where the men have been like overly controlling and this, that, and the other, and women have been like overly controlling, and you can't go out unless I say so, and throwing hissy fits and all this sort of stuff. And that's the closest I've ever known to that kind of behaviour when I've heard it from, say, people I know. But like I don't necessarily personally, I've never experienced it myself, but I just find it bizarre. Like I remember chatting to my missus about it once, and like I'd give her such a weird look if she came up to me and says, "Oh, am I right to go to this thing?" Like if she ever asked me for permission to go anywhere, I'd look at her like, "What the fuck are you on about? I'm not your dad. You can do anything you want." It's just weird. It's just weird. It's like we got something organised, then make sure it doesn't clash with other plans. But other than that, it's like just really bizarre behaviour. It was years ago. It was kind of funny at first, then got very creepy. Yeah, I'll bet, man. Going through the bins. What were they hoping to find? See, that sounds like a Reddit story. Or part of a Reddit story. Yeah, very bizarre. How bizarre. But no, I'm glad you got out of there. Safe and sound. See, this is the part in the drawing where this bit feels like it's gone fairly quickly. Now I'm getting to the bit where I feel like I'm adding, and just no progress has been made. How bizarre, how bizarre. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, when I hear stories like that, Dead Hand, I do think I'm very, very, very fortunate that no such dramas have taken place in my life like that. I've got no idea how to even deal with it. I'd be like, the hell would you do with that? You know what they were trying to find. This is how uninformed and daft I am. Genuinely don't. Told you I'm clueless with this sort of stuff. I don't understand the dramas of relationships. My first thought would be condoms, but I can't connect the dots on that one. Why would they want to look for that? No idea. I think my mind went there because I have heard, or again, I've read Reddit stories where somebody did that. Going through bins looking for, but I think it was like the bin in the house, and they were taking used condoms. I can't remember why. I can't remember that story. I have no clue. She was never anything interested. There's never anything interested in my bins. Yeah, Reddit stories. Then some of them are just crazy, crazy. My teenage years have been pretty normal. It's the pre-teens that were crazy. Jesus, drowning in a puddle of... God. Making my childhood sound relatively boring. Just a steady childhood of football and knock and run. I was never in a relationship with her. She was just some girl I met at a house party. Apparently, I have no recollection of that. Jeez. Someone dropping a matchbox full of wasps on my face. Flipping heck. Traumatising for a child, I know, but I think about it, fun times. She got charmed by your game. Dad hand play it cool. But he fished home. Fished home are crazy. No, I missed my childhood. I'm a proper nostalgia whore. I yearn for. If I could, I'd get in a time machine and I'd just relive the 90s because I loved that period. It was so good. Between the ages of 5 and 15, I was. Absolutely loved that time. Loved those days. Bing, 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 bing. See what I'm doing with these drawings now in these books. Like I haven't thought about this drawing at all. I've just thought, just draw some lines, see what happens. But one thing I'm making a more conscious effort to do is keeping it quite narrow. So I get a drawing from top to bottom. So if I do ever run out of battery, then there's enough of a drawing from top to bottom that it can still pass as a complete drawing, as opposed to, where was it? This one. Even though I did my best to kind of catch up on it, these bits missing. If I make some good time in this, I might come back and just fill out this sort of space up here. But I think that's the best way to go now. So one of the core memories that I have is of that one town I used to visit. It was between my village and the closest city, so we used to pass through it. It was called Tiri. This city is now underwater because they made a dam reservoir in 2005. Yeah, I missed my childhood. Have you played any of the new side-scrolling TMNT games? Yes, I have played Shredder's Revenge. I got to the Technodrome level. I really enjoyed it, but I put it on the hardest difficulty. So I'd kind of have half an hour on it, memorising the patterns and trying to get through it, but then I'd have to come away because I'm like, getting frustrated because I couldn't do it. Because it'd take me, towards the later levels, it was taking me a little bit longer. But because our rent went up loads, to save some money, I had to get rid of Game Pass, which is what it was on. So whenever I'm able to afford Game Pass again, hopefully it's still on there and I can finish it. But I got very close to finishing it. But yeah, the Shredder's Revenge was awesome. I loved it. Coop, how's it going, man? Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. We've just been reminiscing and talking about girls. Talking about girly girls. Girls and their cooties. Kind of tired as per usual. I feel you there, brother. It's the kids' first day back at school today, so we were up at 7 in the morning, which isn't massively early, but still an adjustment. Getting up and getting all the kids sorted, getting the lunches done and uniforms out and all that stuff. So I just need to get used to that again. Speaking of reservoirs, there's been sightings from here. Apparently there's just mate. Every single atom of excrement would empty from me if I saw a tiger. I don't know if it's because I've got older, But I've become more and more of a melt. Like I'm just scared of more things. And again, TikTok and its amazing algorithm. I'll scroll up and a random animal attack video will pop up on it, and I'm like, what on earth have I ever suggested in my viewing history makes you think I want to see this? But like in America, like there's bear attacks and coyote attacks and stuff. You know, this is just like in your woods. And like again, maybe I live too much of a sheltered life in the UK, but you can just go and walk around in a forest and what, a badger would be the worst thing you'd come across. But a tiger, fuck. Yeah, that's just that. Yeah, I don't think I can handle that. There's that one video as well. It's I don't know exactly where it is. I'm assuming it's your neck of the woods. Those guys on the elephants, on the back of an elephant, and that tiger jumps up from the grass and catches one of the guy's hands, and his hand's just ripped up. But yeah, God, tigers, beautiful animals, but fuck that. Like I'm such a pussy. Like if I knew if someone had seen that, or someone had said, "Oh, I've seen a tiger," I wouldn't go out of the house. I'd never leave. I'd say at work like flipping heck in England. What we stay at home from work if there's a bit of rain, a bit of snow. But tigers, it's like no, you can still go to work. Dock your pay if you don't come out. G Funk, how's it going, my friend? You all right? You missed some good conversation here. So we've been talking about, and I've just made a mess of that. Been talking about girls, turtles, video games, and Annie seeing a tiger. Because where is it you live, Annie? Is it you live in India, don't you? But we have some pretty big house spiders. Yeah, like we see a spider, we all shit our pants. Although I'm saying that, I don't want to dox you, Annie. Sorry. But yeah, if like anything like that happened, like I'd refuse to leave my house. I'd be like, no, I'm staying in, thanks. But like I said, America has it bad as well. Like those videos of bears just ploughing through the back doors of their houses and stuff. I'm like, fuck that. I'd move like immediately. Flipping tiger, God. The first time I ever saw a tiger in real life was I went to Taronga Zoo in Sydney, and it was just pacing up and down the glass. I've got a video of it, and I'm just like, shit the bed. Same animal, goes to tiger, same animals really. I've had to chase a squirrel out of my friend's apartment, and even that was scary. Sorry, I'm stalling it. I don't quite know what to do with the rest of this. Hang on. Don't think Jamie just draw. That's the whole point. But yeah, to answer your earlier question, Deadhand, yes, Shredder's Revenge was the Turtles game that I played. And it is fantastic. It just hits all the right notes. Like the music is amazing. All the little side quests that you do, the characters, the little secrets and stuff. It's glorious. And I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series as a kid as well, the 90s one. So like it just hit all the right notes with me, and the live action films. Yeah, I loved it. Loved it. Be right back. Snack. Yeah, no worries, man. A week ago, I am now where my father is posted. He's still military. Yeah, I remember saying he was military. He's basically close to the tiger reserve, and sometimes tigers and leopards enter the area. You brave man. SNES Turtles in Time music is unmistakable. I never got to play Turtles in Time. I really want to. I could probably emulate it, and I've heard it's rock hard. Like, I know of the underwater level where you have to swim through the seaweed. It's in folklore, that one. The tiger was behind our building, roughly 30 meters. You know when you said close, to me, that's like, oh, it was in the town centre, like a couple of miles up the road. 30 metres. Oh. It was epic game, hit me right in the nostalgia. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge was amazing. Just gutted I didn't get to finish it before I had to turn off my Game Pass. I started playing, you'll remember this, Garland. Started playing Broforce again. Remember we played that at your house? Such a good laugh, that game. Just a fun little bro 'em up. Yeah, really had a good laugh with that. But other than that, I've not played anything new. I think I was saying this before. Like, I haven't really had the time. Like, what I do want to start playing again is shoot 'em ups, like R Type and STG. STG. That sounds like a disease, doesn't it? Super Strike Gunner, it was called on the SNES. I used to play that all the time. Like, a lot of my artwork is based on the level designs of those games, and I feel like I just haven't played enough of them. They're more of a niche genre now. I do have Radiant Silvergun on Steam now. I did play that for a little bit. I might go back to it. I do. Are they still adding to it? I don't know. The version I played, I think it was just the basic version on Xbox Game Pass. They did the Expendables version. I've got that on Steam. I did play that. That was fun. But I don't know if they've added anything to it. My mother saw that and ran inside the apartment. And my father, being what he is, ran towards it with a gun. Balls the size of medicine balls. Your dad. We don't have guns in this country, so I don't know what I'd go at it with. I don't know. I'd probably just grab a steak out of the fridge and just throw it away. Eat that. Get away from me. Excuse me. I even get a bit anxious when we go to the animal park near where I live. They've got polar bears in there now. Well, they've had them in there for a while, but they're flipping huge. But yeah, no, that was the newest game that I'd started because I really wanted to play it. I just unfortunately didn't get to finish it. we have the almighty spork. I don't even think KFC does that anymore, does it? Gives you paper straws instead. You know, have some of that and jab it in the eye with a paper straw. I was once attacked by a pair of swans protecting their heads. I don't think I've been attacked by an animal. I think a pet hamster's bit me once. That's it. Not exactly warrant going after it with a shotgun or anything, but yeah, hamsters are vicious little bastards. Well, they can be. As per my experience, yeah, stay away from swans. Don't want none of that. I've just got an image now of when Tony Belly was describing UFC fights. It's just a swan going up to you like that. Don't want none of this, lad. I was going to say something earlier and I forgot. Oh yeah, that was it. I recently started picking up or having another crack at turning my work into digital art. Specifically having another go at trying pixel art again. I think the problem I had when I was trying to turn this into pixel art is I was trying to draw it as if I was still drawing on a book, like a pad with pen, and it doesn't work that way. So I kind of went back and just focused on the shapes only and not how I would draw it in a book. And I made a little bit of progress. I downloaded a 256 colour palette to make it easier as well. Like I had the whole colour range, which was just too much. I didn't know where to start or what to do. And I started really looking at shoot 'em up games, sort of seeing how the architecture in the games looked, and figuring out my own way to kind of sort of draw around that. And I also downloaded a bit of software because I think I was chatting to you guys before about how I've still got that itch of wanting to try and make a game or do something with game design. Like it never really goes away. And I showed you like a really small demo of a top-down shoot 'em up that I'd made. And I made that in a program called Construct 2, which at the time I was using, it was free. But they've since stopped updating for that software because they've released Construct 3. But Construct 3, unfortunately, is now a subscription-based bit of software. So it's like £100 a year. 300 if you want to do like a business one. It might even be more than that, I can't remember. And it's not its own kind of software. You do it through a web browser, which sounds shocking to me. Like £100 a year and you're doing it through a web browser sounds garbage. I tried Game Maker, but anything with coding is just a no for me. Like I just can't code to save my life. And like again, the time that you need to really learn it was just a commitment I'm not prepared to do because I want to spend as much time as I can drawing. That's what I liked about Construct 2. It was code free. It was just buttons and I think it was variables and things. So you just, I think Unreal Engine has it as well. It's just like you put a node onto a button and you can kind of do it all that way. But yeah, Game Maker, you require. I can't even remember what type of code it is on Game Maker at all. Was it? It's not C++. It's or is it C++? I can't remember. Unity, absolutely not. That's just too big for me. So the one that I found is called GDevelop. So it's a completely free software. You can donate, and they have got a premium one as well, which I think is the way it should be done. Just have a free version so you can build whatever you want to build, get used to the engine, do what you want. Have a donate option, and if you want to get some really funky stuff, you can upgrade to a premium one. It's how it seems really nice and really easy to use as well. Like it's got its own. It's specific. It's more geared around 2D games, but there is a 3D option in it as well. And it's got its own pixel editor, which is just perfect. Like it just keeps it all together, and I'm really looking forward to using it. The scene from Hot Fuzz comes to mind. Well, it's a swan. I love that film so much. Hot Fuzz. I went to school. My GCSE year was where that was filmed. You almost see my old house in the film as well. It's very close to it. The supermarket. I sometimes think that I should have learned code when I was a kid. Yeah. I was. It's funny you mentioned that. I was talking to Xander yesterday. Xander's my son. When we were walking to get his haircut, and I was chatting to him about what he wants to do, sort of when he's older, like if he'd be interested in video game, because he's very much into his video games. And just to see if he'd be interested in that, and he kind of gave them. I don't know. He's probably not old enough to really think about what he wants to do with his life yet, but I thought I'll maybe plant the seed a little bit, see what he says. But I remember learning code at uni, and it just went. The thing that annoyed me about it was at uni there was a BA, so Bachelor of Arts, which was my course, and a BSc, the Bachelor of Science. So the BA was the design side, Bachelor of Science was the technical side, and that what we were told is they did all the coding. So when we ended up doing some work and coding was involved, it annoyed me because I thought, well, why do we need to know this? I mean, it would have been very helpful if we knew some basics, and I think they tried teaching us, but yeah, I mean that course was a shit show from start to finish. So, but it's just time. Like I just don't find it particularly interesting or entertaining to do. Like I don't think my brain's geared for it. I think I'm more of I like creating stuff and messing about, and I mean messing about in a creative sense, not all that stuff. Get that? G-Funk part of me still wants to try and learn. I'm technically still a youngster, and I'm too lazy. It's good to know that laziness doesn't come at you when you're in your 30s. Yeah, I just remember it at uni, and I just couldn't get my head around it. The reason I suppose I didn't like it is because it was the lack of creativity. That's what I didn't like, because I've got quite a creative brain, so and any sort of logical part of my brain isn't geared towards that type of stuff. So I think that's probably why I didn't like it. I just didn't like just staring at text for that long. That was just gobbledygook to me. It still is. I know very basic bits and pieces. Like I can kind of understand it, but yeah. Basic when I had a ZX Spectrum, but machine code was like an unknowable magic. Yeah. It just looks like it just genuinely looks like gobbledygook to me. Like very basic, like basic commands, like when you bracket stuff. I can kind of get it. I could never type it on my own, but if I were to see it, I'd be like, right, I can vaguely pick out something that kind of makes sense. But like I say, that's why I really liked Construct, because it was all the code was packaged up in like a button. So instead of you coding bracket, press left, bracket to do this, to do that. It was all wrapped up in a button that you could just connect to like the object. I think because I remember learning Game Maker at uni, and looking back, I said it to my uni mates. I said we should have just been learning this. But even then, I was getting a bit frustrated with it because I couldn't. I even struggled to understand Game Maker. But I'm a little bit better at stuff like that now. But like I say, it was just because I still had the itch to try and learn or try and do some game stuff. Like I said, I would still like to make a video game, or even just one level of a video game, just to see if I can do it, to see if it's worth pursuing. Chuck it up on Steam. Although I don't know if Steam, if it's as easy to put games on Steam anymore, because I remember that period of time a few years ago where it was just swamped and flooded with asset flips. Like you could go into the Unreal. It was mainly Unity that was the culprit for it, where you could just go and buy a cheap bunch of assets, throw them together and sell it as a game, and they were mostly shit. Turn print arse run. You know what else is magic? Apple putting an old Gen USB Type-C charger on the latest phone and people still buying it. Fuck Apple. Having said that, annoyingly, they're the only ones that you can have Procreate on, and I really want to use that software. Genuinely think if you could use Procreate on other platforms, then iPad sales would drop considerably. I'm going to play some Baldur's Gate 3. Take care, dude. No worries, man. Thank you very much for popping in, G. Always good to see you. I'll be back on again Friday if you want to join then at 6 o'clock. And you'll have to hit me up on Steam if you want to do some gaming sessions. It's been a while. We still haven't finished Borderlands. Borderlands 2. But no, have a good one, man. Have a fun time playing some BG. And thank you again for coming in. Thank you for the third like as well, whoever did that. Yes, Mr. G Funk is one of my IRL friends. Although it has been a while since I've seen him IRL. But that's what happens, isn't it? Life takes over at times. And I've got a fourth like. Thank you for the fourth like. Appreciate it. I went to watch. Don't know what that's an abbreviation for. I had to go to another city because no. What does FNAF? What is that an abbreviation for? I do not know. So I'm just having a minute. Okay. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know how I didn't put that together. Jesus. Buddhist. Great for a fan, not so much for someone who's not aware what's going on. Do you know what? I think it's actually better that the film is done that way. Like, I'm not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played them, and I've got no real interest in ever playing them. But because it's quite a niche game, kind of making the movie in that way as a love letter to the fans, I think is probably the best way to go. Because it's the kind of movie you don't need to make to appeal to a broader audience. It's already got its fan base. Like, I don't know why people would complain about it. Like, if it's not made for you, you know, pipe down kind of thing. Never really grabbed me. Yeah, horror as a genre doesn't interest me anymore. I think what ruined it was there was like a period of time in the noughties where there was like this style of horror where it was just gore. Like, it wasn't entertaining or scary. It was just people getting mangled up in the worst ways possible. And I just thought, yeah, this isn't my thing. This isn't for me. Like, I remember when Hostel came out, there was a big fuss made about that. Still to this day, I've never seen it. And like the Final Destination films, like the first one, I didn't mind. I quite like the idea of that. I thought it was a fun concept and genuinely sort of entertaining, decent film. But then I think I watched the second one and the third one, and then that was it. And it was just more and more pointlessly creative ways in maiming people. And I just thought, this isn't really for me. I don't know if it's because I was getting older as well. I just thought, yeah, this isn't my thing anymore. And I remember watching The Shining for the first time at the cinema because they released it. It was like an anniversary thing. And then I watched The Thing. And I thought that film was amazing. And I thought horror's probably not going to get any better than this for me. So I'll check out that. And I love John Carpenter as well. So. The games are great and all, but it's the law that really binds everything YouTubers play just for the sake of, torture porn. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Torture porn. Yeah, it's not my bag at all. Like it's like The Human Centipede. Like I'll never watch that. The Saw franchise was the same. Like the very first Saw film, I thought was excellent. I thought that was a really clever, good psychological film. Good twist. I've not seen it in a while. But then again, they kind of just evolved into just people getting maimed. And I just thought, I'm not asked about this. I think the most recent horror film that I saw that was good was Insidious. Insidious was good, but once you've seen it once, it's like, well, there's nothing in it for me now. Like it's Scary Game, but behind the curtains, it's the Horror Frenzy, Murdered Children, or the games are hit and miss. That should not even be allowed to be said. Yeah. Not my bag. My children are torturing each other again. How nice. I don't mean literally, they're just annoying each other. Or I should say they're on that borderline between they're playing and they're alright, and then a bit of that's not what I wanted to do. Gonna pop off and play something too. Oh, something. No, man, you crack on, get your game on. Thank you again for coming in. Always appreciate it when you pop in. Good to see you as always. Go and play something fun. That's what I'll be doing when I finish this. I'm going to go and play some games when I've completed this drawing. Maybe went from murder to extracting the agony from the souls and Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. The View Magnet, that and making videos about India. Yes, I have 3 siblings. I'm used to the politics of siblinghood. See, Five Nights at Freddy's, I have been, because I'm interested in video game lore. So even if I don't play a game, like I'm interested in the kind of history behind it. Like the Backrooms is a big thing at the minute. I'm not sure I'd ever play it, but I'm interested in kind of the stories and things like that. Five Nights at Freddy's would be another one where I think I'd be interested in that side of it. I have heard people... There was a video I watched not long ago where there was a YouTuber who was obsessed with making Five Nights at Freddy's videos to the point where he was milking it dry so badly that he did like a list of 8 facts about... There was like a cupcake on one of the sides or something. And he was just doing videos, just proper milking that cow for all it's worth. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to want to watch that? But if you're a fan, you're going to want to know about that cupcake, aren't you? Go ahead, give me some lore on. Give me some cupcake lore. I like cupcakes. Who doesn't love a cupcake? Let's be honest with ourselves. I've got a Krispy Kreme donut waiting for me when I finish this. I can't wait. Love me some Krispy Kreme. Markiplier's top 10 most viewed videos are mostly Five Nights. Really? I thought he was known for other stuff, but Five Nights. Well, if there's a content creator that you love and they're doing a game that you love, then makes sense. I'd say they grew with, yeah. Talking about EPD 445, don't know what that is. I do not know what that is, Annie. Tell you what I've been watching recently, like speedrun. Like, I mean, I love watching speedruns. One of the first ones I ever watched was a speedrun of Super Metroid by a streamer called Zoast. And I saw him do it on ADGQ. Like, this would have been a few years back. It's a really good run. But I like the lore of it. There was like speedrunners' biggest sort of scams and scandals and stuff. I find them really interesting. Like, there was a Halo speedrunner back in the day who lied about how good he was, and like his Halo speedrun on one of the early ADGQs was an absolute shambles. Yeah, speedrunning cheaters. I find that kind of thing interesting. I haven't had a Krispy Kreme in so long. Oh, they're so good. The mother-in-law brought around a box of 12 for us all to share, so we had 3 each. I had 2 of them yesterday, and I've got 1 left. Oh, EDP445 is a YouTuber. He got caught trying to meet up with a team. Fucking, I've never heard of them. I'm surprised I haven't heard of them. Because I'm not massively into it, but I do quite like sort of getting into the sort of lore of YouTubers and YouTube scams and stuff. I'm surprised I haven't heard of that one, but flipping heck, what a creep. The Chris Hansen's Catch the Predator kind of deal. Flipping heck. Yeah, it's a lot of wrong uns on the internet who use their clout to do that kind of stuff. It's disgusting. Mate, I only know what a Krispy Kreme is. You are missing out, my friend. Krispy Kremes are glorious. They're possibly one of the most unhealthy things in the entire world, but they are magical. Right, here's what I'm going to do, because I actually really like that as it is. I'm going to do a bit of detail, and I'm going to put a banner through it. Closest Krispy Kreme outlet that I have is under construction inside a Japanese Shinkansen bullet train station. How much will that set you back to go there? Like 1,000, whatever the equivalent of £1,000 is. Now, I'm sure you'll get a local bakery near you that can crack out in a world-class donut. They recently, not that recently, but Dunkin' Donuts was introduced here a few years ago. They're all right. You haven't lived though until you've had Greg's. Greg's is a staple in the UK. It is wonderful. Tucker. Although they keep discontinuing. Anytime they bring out like a specialist sandwich or wrap or anything, they always discontinue it after a few months. It annoys me. Oh no, it is in India. Oh, okay. We are buying the Shinkansen. Ah, okay. No, it will. You're absolutely right, Annie. I can guarantee you it will. Greg sausage roll. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, Greg sausage rolls. They're just. There's just nothing like it. They're just quality. I tried a vegan sausage roll just to see what it was like. I remember when it first arrived, and loads of fuss was being kicked up about it. I don't know why. It's like, is it stopping you buying your normal sausage roll? No. Well, shut the fuck up then. What difference does it make to you? Let vegans experience a sausage roll. I had one, and I've only had it once, and I remember thinking it was all right. It wasn't as good as a normal one, but I thought I could eat that. I've seen a few people have them and say they're really bad, but I don't remember the one I had being really bad. I just thought it was meh. I don't know. But yeah, Krispy Kremes are they're dangerous, dangerous tucker. Oh, excuse me, everybody. Yeah, I'm not going to go overly detailed with this one because what I want to do, what I really, really want to do, let's sign it first so I don't. Forget. That's actually the best version of my little signature thing I've ever done. They're always all over the shop, but that one's actually pretty neat. Don't know why vegans are trying to make things taste like chicken. Isn't the whole point not to eat meat? Get on with the spice trade. Do you know what thing I don't get? Like I'd happily eat a lot of vegetarian food, but like there was a thing. Again, I don't know I don't go down sort of conspiracy holes or anything. It might not be a conspiracy. I don't know. But is it the Impossible brand? The sort of meatless stuff. Apparently, they're meant to be full of absolute garbage, like replacement stuff. Like a burger is fine because a burger's a patty. And instead of using meat, you can use like I've seen people do like mixes of like mushrooms and potatoes and stuff, and that actually sounds like a burger I'd eat. because I love potato and I love mushrooms. And they just kind of chop it up really finely, mix it with egg, make it into a patty, bit of cheese on there, and bang on. Fast food joints are rubbish at making like bean burgers and stuff, though they sound awful. But yeah, Impossible Meat, it was meant to be full of chemicals and stuff. I don't normally do this on these drawings, but I really want to put a banner behind it, and I just want to make sure it lines up. So I am going to bring out the blue pen and the ruler, wherever that is. In fact, no, do I need the ruler? Where is my little ruler? I don't know. Like vegetarian chilies and vegetarian curries. Speaking of food, make me hungry. In the West, it's like you had us under British. Why not use the spices? Yeah, in Indian curries. Although you I don't know, you might have something to say about this, but in the UK, Indian style curry is like the go-to. Like it's up there with like fish and chips and roast dinners as like the most popular thing. That's Marilla. But I've seen like Gordon Ramsay when he's done cooking shows and he's gone to India, and when you make, I suppose, what you call the equivalent of it, it's not the same. And I learned as well that apparently chicken tikka masala was invented in Scotland, which is my home country. Right on. And the story that I heard, I don't know if this is true at all, but it was someone, they mixed, was it tomato soup or something like that, in with chicken and put some spices in it. Big, yeah. Absolutely, I'm knackered. Yeah, chicken tikka masala specifically is apparently a British dish. Like Indian curry, when you use the is it the tikka? That's the Indian bit, but you don't make them like how we in the UK would make them. Yeah, Indian food is just Indian food is incredible. I mean, you might have Indian food from the UK and think, what is this bullshit? But yeah, like Indian spices, like you, like, is it turmeric? Not Cajun. That's fucking American. What's it called? Let me just see. Cumin. All those types of spices. That's all I've got. Turmeric and cumin. Yeah, Indian style food is just it's so good. I'll have to taste the UK version of those to compare. Butter chicken, yeah, butter chicken's good. Yeah, I didn't think butter chicken was Indian. I have heard that before. I don't know if it is or isn't. Ever had chicken tikka masala? It's like it's the curry equivalent of plain crisps. In fact, no, yeah, like it's the most common flavour of curry, I would say, in the UK, and it is good. It's like a coconutty flavour curry. I prefer the more flavour stuff. There's one called, is it Jafloni? There's a place we get our curries from. Yeah, they do one called Jafloni chicken, which is really nice. No idea what's in it, but it tastes awesome. Yeah, it's probably, I'd say it's, if not the most popular, then top 3. Most popular sort of dishes, probably fish and chips and roast dinners would be my guess at the others. Like if it's not the most popular, then it is definitely top 3. I don't know why I'm putting that in my pen cup. Not a huge spice fan, more of a herby. I like both. What we do is when we get a curry, me and the missus will pick one each. We'll get like a spicy one and a herby one, and then split them. So we'll have like what I'll do on the plate is I'll get the rice and I'll make like a wall of rice. I'll put one on one side and one on the other, and we always get Bombay potatoes as well, Bombay aloo, because they're built and like a billion poppadoms because I love poppadoms. A lot of herbs, yeah, herbs and spices like India's like go to like Indian cuisines thing. Herbs and spices in it. That's why it's so popular, because it tastes so goddamn good. Chicken tikka, yeah, they're similar. Like the ingredients probably vary a little bit, but yeah, there's some. Like anywhere, like a really popular type of food, you're going to get really good ones and really crap ones. This doesn't add up to me. I've made a mistake here, Anna. I can tell just by looking at it, it looks off. Isla, the sign's up. What's up? Yes. Where's my ruler gone? I just put my ruler down. What have I done with it? What's there? How have I cocked this up? I've done it on the wrong side, haven't I? No. I don't know, it must be just a magic eye thing. It just didn't look like that lined up. But it does. We're all good in the hood. Well, let's get on it. Not a good start. You know, I used to love chicken sausages and salami slices when I was a non-vegetarian. Yeah, I do like cold deli meats. Are you a vegetarian? Yeah, I don't think I could have a go. I reckon I could do vegetarian because you still get to have eggs, cheese, and butter. But vegan, nah. I just don't think I could do it. Got nothing against the lifestyle and being vegan. I just don't have the willpower to do it. And I just don't think there's a moral argument in it either. Call me a cold-hearted bastard, but that's just my opinion. That's what I'm looking for, that one. Okay, now I understand why vegans are trying to make things taste like chicken. Okay. Yeah, it tastes incredible chicken. Yeah, I think I could do vegetarian. I just don't think I could do vegan. I think vegan's too much for me. Like if I still had cheese, I think I might I might be all right. But if you take away meat and cheese, nah. And eggs as well, because you need eggs to make cakes and stuff. And I need my cake. I need it. Just pure. Yeah, I know there's like good. I've got a bag of whey protein over there. And I love lentils, by the way. I make homemade lentil soup. It's like a dish that my mum and dad make. And they passed it down to me. Yeah, I reckon you can make some absolutely banging vegetarian dishes, but like if I was going to have, I said earlier, if I was going to have a burger, I wouldn't. I still would like to try an Impossible Burger. I have always been curious. I want to know what it tastes like. I remember when I was a kid, so this would have been in the 90s. And one of my favourite dishes as a kid was mince and potatoes. It's a very British sort of comfort food type of thing that your mum and dad would make for you when you're a kid. So it's just minced beef and you add onions and carrots to it and you just make a gravy with mashed potatoes. And I wanted that for dinner one day. And we didn't have any. But my mum said, oh, there's... Because at the time my sister was vegetarian. And she says, oh, there's a packet of vegetarian mince in the cupboard. It's called Bean Feast. And it was in a green packet. Now, vegetarian food has come a long way since the 90s, but I went, yeah, I really wanted it, so I'll just try it. It can't be that much different. To this day, it remains the worst thing I have ever eaten that is supposedly under the category of food. Like if I ate a turd, then that would be worse than it, but something that is categorized as food, it is the worst thing I have ever tasted. It was shocking. It's what I imagine sick would taste like if you just ate it. Like it was that. Oh. Oh yeah, we don't eat eggs either, but we do have dairy products. Oh, that's fair enough. Again, as long as you have cheese. I love some veg, but it has to be with meat. I get why people are vegetarian, but not vegan. Yeah, we don't have much of them. Religious reasons. Yeah, like, religion does dictate a lot of people's life choices, which is fine. Absolutely fine. I think my thing is I don't understand the moral argument of eating an animal, or the argument against it, because my thing is, well, we are animals. It's just the food chain. You can make an argument that there's too we overindulge, and the way that you can kill animals you can do maybe more humanely. Sure, I get that, but like if you were starving and the only thing available to eat was like cheap meats, then do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd be interested in trying some vegan/veg products now. Like I've seen vegetarian sausages, and just out of curiosity, just to see if they're any good. Because I genuinely would, if they tasted as good, I would eat them. Like I'd buy them regularly. If it helps with the carbon footprint and all that. Doing my part, as they say in Starship Troopers. Maybe not all the time, but I'd cut down. Like I'd. Yes, right. I've completely lost my bearings for a second there. But yeah, I wouldn't eat the Impossible Burgers regularly, but I just would like to try one just to see. Because there was a big old fuss when they first came out saying, oh, it's just as good, and all that gear. Oh. Even our Domino's and McDonald's are vegetarian for the most part, but since it's spice induced to taste, yeah, that's why I like things like vegetarian chilies and curries. I think would be amazing, like because like a vegetarian chili, like I love chili. I just swap out the beef, but I love mushrooms and potatoes. I just dice up mushrooms and potatoes really fine because it's the flavour of the chili powder and the cumin and all the spices that make it good. So I'd easily have a vegetarian chili or a vegetarian curry, like swap out the chicken chunks for chunks of potato. No bother. Ugh, I've not even looked at this thing. Is it any good? Let's have a look at you. What are we on? How long have we been at this? Just over 2 hours. Yeah, that's about standard for these things, isn't it? I am a fan. I like my own work. Isn't that nice? So that is my latest piece. Oh, my back. Did I say thank you for the 5th like? I don't know who did that, but thank you in case I didn't. So yeah, boys. It's been a fun stream today. I've enjoyed it. I've had a laugh. I don't do this. Hang on. Oh, it looks brilliant, dude. Thank you for your kind words, fellas. I'll just read your last comment, Annie. You know what's funny? I told you about my father. He's killed boars and bears and ate their meat. He's like the farthest thing from what I am. Wild chicken and fish is life in the Himalayas. I do like fish as well. But no, thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I'm quite happy how that's turned out. It's been a really fun stream today. Really had a good time, had a good laugh. Thank you for everyone joining in, Coob. Mr. G Funk, IFF11, right at the start. Thank you for coming in. I haven't missed anyone, have I? No, thank you all for popping in. Thank you for all the likes and the views. Next, as you both know, I'll be on again. For those who don't know, if anyone does watch this at a later time, I'll be live again on YouTube on Friday at 6 p.m. for the Artaza series. And I'll be live on TikTok at 6 p.m. on Wednesday for a little drawing. But yeah, I'll leave that there. I'm very happy with that one. Thank you again, boys. Had loads of fun today. Always good chatting with you. Cover an array of topics. Have a good evening, guys, and I'll catch you Wednesday. If not Wednesday, hopefully Friday. Have a good evening. Catch you later.